Welcome. I'm Joseph, and today what I want to do is talk about the questions that you've been asking us here at NoteFull and our YouTube videos, and have a way to address them that is more informal, more casual, and a lot quicker to make sure that we get to all of the questions that we have so that you can develop a more one-on-one relationship with NoteFull and the entire team here. So the first thing that I want to do is tell you a little bit about the format of this. So my goal is in this video, or our goal for NoteFull is in these videos to make sure that you have an opportunity to interact with us in a way that models the classroom a little bit, so that we take away sometimes the distance that we feel with the online presence that we've created. And so the way that I think it's important to understand that is that in the classroom, usually you have a presentation where the instructor stands up. We have those kinds of videos where we teach you about the speaking or the writing, and we listen attentively and we take notes. But sometimes what happens after the class is over is that there's a time to sit down and kind of address what's going on, what kind of questions and difficulties you're having with the points in the lecture, and also with just in general your studies and your movement forward. So we're going to address your TOEFL questions and make sure that we create the best path for you towards success by addressing those questions. So let's actually talk about some of them. So the first thing that we're going to do is talk about AA, who on YouTube asked, by taking notes, do you mean we take notes on a piece of paper or something? So AA are the initials of a student who asked a question on one of our YouTube videos about a week ago on question number 3. And as you can see from the question, depending on your experience with the TOEFL, it illustrates that the student is a bit inexperienced, because if you've ever taken the TOEFL before, you know the answer to this. So make sure that you understand that when you have questions and you're not sure, you haven't taken the TOEFL before, it's really important to ask them, because if you don't know the answer to these kinds of questions, you're going to be in for trouble on the TOEFL, because you're going to reach some things that are quite unexpected. So when you take the TOEFL, you're going to take notes on a sheet of paper, of course. You're going to be in front of a computer screen, much like the way you are now, and you're going to be listening to things, and you're going to be able to take notes. Now, you can actually take notes through the reading, listening, speaking, and writing sections, because when you start the exam, you're going to be given 3 sheets of paper, and you'll be able to write on them front and back. And what's going to happen is that you'll only have 3 and a pencil that's given to you at the exam center. And let's say in the reading you take notes, and listening you take notes, and you finish a sheet, and you need another one. You're going to have to raise your hand. The proctor, the person giving the exam, is going to come over and is going to give you a sheet of paper. Now, what you do with that is what we teach in the videos, how we take notes and all of that great stuff. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask more questions about content, about how to study effectively, about everything towards the end of this video. So that's the first question that's important for us to know that we're addressing here. The next question that we got from a NoteFull student, so a student who's already registered for one of our programs and is studying hard, and something that we get often is, should I have my test rescored? So as you may or may not know, the TOEFL allows you to rescore a section after you've already gotten your results. So let's say you take the TOEFL, 10 days, 12 days passes, and you get your results in the mail, or you see it on the computer screen, and you see that your speaking and writing sections, maybe you didn't get the score that you wanted, because the only sections that can be rescored are the speaking and writing on the TOEFL. What you have an opportunity to do is submit a document and also pay $80 per section, again $80 per section, to have your test reevaluated. Now the way that they've structured it is as if they give you a higher score after rescoring, you're going to get that money back, which I think is at least one point to make it a little bit fair. But if your score stays the same or it's lower, it stays the same, but they don't refund your money back. So it's a little bit of a difficult decision, but what we like to tell our students is that it depends on your confidence level. There are many times where students have rescored onto a higher score. For example, let's say that you need a 26 in the speaking section, or 25, and you get a 23. So that means that you're not where you need to be. So should you get it rescored? Should you pay that $80 on the speaking section and get that test reevaluated by an examiner? And so what we recommend in that case is that if you feel very confident, if you feel like, I did a great job, I followed all my strategies, I know I did really well, then we definitely suggest that you get a rescore, because as you know, the graders are human for the speaking section, and humans are capable of mistakes. And on the TOEFL, unfortunately, they do make them. And we do have, I would say, out of all of the students that have rescored over the years, about 20% of our NoteFull students who've been confident have gotten the higher score, 20 to 25%. So that's quite a big number. So again, you can only rescore the writing and the speaking, costs $80. And if you get it rescored, make sure that you do so because you feel confident that you deserve a higher score, and not just because you want to get another chance, because that really is not usually what's going to work out. Now, the next question that we're going to get, now that we address that one, is from new students. So students who, like you, may be on YouTube, who've learned about us, who start to visit NoteFull.com, who start to see the different programs, and are wondering, okay, what kind of program is it that I need to register for? Or just in general, how do I best choose a program to prepare myself for the TOEFL? Well, the first thing that you want to do is understand yourself as a student, because I think the most important thing is, are you the kind of person who's really self-motivated, who's going to be able to do the homework, do the assignments on your own, and study regularly every day? Are you a student who tends to like to be motivated, who likes to be able to ask questions regularly? In which case, it's important for you to pick a program where you're going to get some feedback, either some reviews or some tutoring, so that you have some interaction and someone there by your side to help you every step of the way. So that's one of the first things that you want to do to address that question. The next thing is you want to have a concept of how much improvement you need, because as you know, if you don't need too much improvement, you're not going to necessarily need a huge program. But if you need a lot, then you're going to need to have something robust, and robust means complete and full and having a lot. So what I would recommend is that we have a link below this video, and if you're debating on what the best program it is for you to choose, and you're not quite sure where you fall in, if you click on that link, there's going to be an opportunity for you to submit some of your information and ask us, actually tell us, what it is that your experience is with the TOEFL. Have you taken it before? If you have, what were your scores? If you haven't, when is your next exam? And all these different details that are going to help us pinpoint what program it is that you need to make sure that you're on track towards the best success possible. Now, moving forward, all students tend to wonder, how can I get more practice with different TOEFL topics? Now, of course, you have a lot of textbooks, you have a lot of different material that exists out there for you to choose from. But in general, when you just want a lot of practice with the kind of vocabulary that you're going to get, and you don't necessarily need the questions, what we recommend most is National Geographic. Now, National Geographic is a world-renowned magazine, and the great thing about it is that they have an online presence. So you go to nationalgeographic.com. And again, you can click on the link below, and we found that to be an incredibly excellent source of information for the TOEFL. A lot of the topics that you see in that magazine are going to appear on the TOEFL. The vocabulary is almost an exact match. The writing style is very close. So rather than maybe watch movies to get experience or read the newspaper, which tend not to be very good with that, we recommend National Geographic. So I hope that makes sense. Now, after we've addressed all these different questions, you might be wondering, well, what if I want more information on these answers? Or what if I have my own different question? Or where can I get more help from more of the different videos that you've created? And are you going to reproduce these kinds of videos often? So the first thing that I want to tell you is that if you go to the link below, you can see a page on NoteFull where you can submit questions, not only for, let's say, what program is best for you, but any other question you may have. You can also do that by leaving your question right below this video on YouTube, and we're going to address that regularly. And the other thing that I'm really excited to talk to you about is that we're also going to be continuing these videos regularly with different members of the NoteFull team. So many students have had the opportunity to meet and interact with me, Joseph, but there are a lot of other powerful members of the NoteFull team, powerful TOEFL instructors who are going to be giving you tutoring sessions and reviews and answering questions that you have and presenting information in videos. So I'm very excited for you. So make sure that you stay in touch, you subscribe to the you subscribe to the channel, you click on the link below, you interact with us, you feel comfortable asking us questions, and feel great, because I want you to know that whatever difficulty you're experiencing with the TOEFL or whatever questions you have, we're right here for you. So you know where to leave your questions, you know what to expect in the future, and again, click on the link below if you'd like more information on these questions than I presented here, and we can give you all of the information you need to succeed. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I wish you great luck with your studies and want you to know that as long as you're staying focused and working hard, you're on track to success. So good luck, and we'll see you next time.